Hadith 931, Atiyya radiallahu anha reported, we, the women folks, were prohibited from accompanying a funeral procession, but we were not compelled not to do so. Al-Bukhari and Muslim.
Well, this hadith of Atiyya radiallahu anha, she tells us that basically the reward which is mentioned about qirat and 2 qirat is only for whom? For the men, not for the women. So the multiple reward in following the funeral from the house until it's being prayed upon, qirat, until it's being buried another qirat, that's only for the men, for the male, not for the women. Also, the chapter title talks about that it is disliked for the women to come. And that's how Atiyya's hadith. She said, we've been prohibited to follow, but at the same time, when she said prohibited of itself, we say it's prohibited, not allowed. Because a nahi, you feed, when there is a nahi, which is prohibition, you feed the man', you're not allowed to do that. And it could be to the haram, it could be to the karaha tanzihiyya. Here, karaha tanzihiyya, because at the end of the hadith she said, وَلَمْ يُعْزَمْ عَلَيْنَا. It was not being emphasized upon us not to come. So some of us come, but it's not being emphasized. It's not good to come. Why? Because you see, the funeral procession has to be free from any sort of lust, you know. Imagine the people want to target women now when there's a janazah. Oh, let me wait for the janazah of such and such. These women going to come and I'm going to target them and hunt them with my eyes. Okay, so if she's going to follow for a certain reason, then because of her husband, her mother, it is her whatever, she wants to be, first of all, totally isolated from the men and not to be a fitna for the other men. So to dress up in a way not to provoke the lust of the people who are coming to the janazah. The last thing that he could be said here in this hadith, when she said, رُخِّصَ لَنَا وَلَمْ يَعْزِمْ عَلَيْنَا, then the Prophet ﷺ told us not to follow. At the same time, she did not say the Prophet. She said it was made prohibited upon us. She didn't say mention the Prophet ﷺ. And then رُخِّصَ لَنَا, it being given, go ahead, no problem. When this is said, even the Prophet of Allah is not being mentioned there by the name, that he is the one who had said go ahead and not to go ahead. From the companion, we consider it from the Prophet ﷺ. That's a very important point. Okay, so when the companion says رُخِّصَ لَنَا نُهِينَا, we've been prohibited, okay, even though it is not being mentioned that the Prophet of Allah is the one who had prohibited them, we understand that straight away. It is the Prophet ﷺ's command.